Microsoft stock is up over 8% after the company reported earnings. On today's episode, what I want to do is the following. First, take a very quick overview on their earnings results. Then I want to take a closer look at 3 reasons why I remain bullish in this company. Let's take a closer look in today's episode. First, I want to say I think it's insane for a $2 trillion company to be up 8%. And sometimes it always worries me to think, and I want to hear your thoughts, viewers. Sometimes it worries me, how big can this company really get, right? What is the limit? Is there even a limit? And obviously, if I would have thought about this when Microsoft hit the $1 trillion market, I would have missed, right? That the company is already up over 50% gains from when it hit that $1 trillion mark. So kind of having that thinking is, in my opinion, creating a box. But every time I keep seeing new levels and seeing up 8%, it kind of goes to the back of my mind. Do you, as an investor, do you worry of this being too huge of a company and not being able to provide results in the long term of things? But then at the same time, when you see days like today where the stock is up 8%, it kind of tells you, hey, this is why maybe you don't want to put yourself in that box. So let me know what you guys think on the comments. So let's take a closer look at their earnings. First, I just have a lot of information highlighted from their press release, and then what I want to do is take a closer look at some of the bullish reasons that I have that came out during their earnings call and obviously this earnings presentation. So the first thing is, if you missed it, they talk about AI a lot and just how this is the new future and how they're kind of providing solutions for this market. A huge grower from this is their Microsoft Cloud, which revenue was roughly $28.5 billion, up 22% year over year. Pretty insane. Now, if we take a closer look at their business highlights, we can see revenue and productivity and business process was 17.5 billion, an increase of 11%. They do mention that, hey, Office commercial products and cloud service revenue was up 13%, and Office 365 commercial revenue saw a growth of 14%. Another thing, though, we get to see is constant currency is still a major headwind for this company. In that 13% growth, they would have actually seen 17% in constant currency. So remember, this is a company that has a lot of exposure in the international market. So foreign exchange rates are obviously some form of headwinds to some extent, but that does seem to be easing maybe on a quarter-to-quarter by basis. So maybe next quarter we won't see too many headwinds from this constant currency exchange. Another thing here in their business process, they do mention that LinkedIn revenue increased 8%. I think that is amazing. If we take a closer look at the revenue in the intelligent cloud, that was $22.1 billion and an increase of 16%. This is where they're pretty much seeing most of that growth. They do mention that server products and cloud service revenue was an increase of 17%, and their Azure and other cloud service revenue growth of 27%. The final segment before I take a closer look at my reasons to be bullish, they do mention that the personal computing is seeing a lot of impact and headwinds from over inventory consumption, right? And slow in demand, and that was 13.3 billion, and it saw a decrease of 9%. Device revenue, for example, saw a decrease of 30%. Xbox hardware was down, but they do mention that Xbox content and service revenue saw an increase of 3%. They also mentioned that their search and news advertisement revenue, excluding traffic acquisition cost, increased 10%. Finally, they returned $9.7 billion to shareholders in the form of share repurchase and dividends in the third quarter of fiscal year of 2023. So those are probably the main highlights that I have. Now let me explain some of the reasons that I am bullish in this company. So the first reason is the cloud market in general, right? We saw that Microsoft Cloud delivered over $28 billion in quarterly revenue, and it was up over 22%. They do mention that Azure took market share, and now they have more than 2,500 on customers on OpenAI services, and that's up 10 times quarter over quarter. So they are seeing customers move into that OpenAI service. They also have more than 15,000 customers on their Arc service, and that is up over 150% year over year. They do mention that they continue to take market share all around, and also in market share in the analytics and solution market. They do give us an expectation for the upcoming quarter. For the upcoming quarter, they expect Intelligent Cloud to have revenue of 23.6 to $23.9 billion. That would be about a 15 to 16% increase in revenue. Just to kind of remind investors, this quarter they had roughly 22.1 billion. So we still see an increase on a quarter-over-quarter basis, and we're still seeing year-over-year basis. So we do see that the clouding market is very, very important for Microsoft. Also, I do want to say thank you for watching the video so far, and I do need your help to hit my goal of 30,000 subscribers. The first goal is 25K, and we're almost there. So let's see if we can get that within this month. Also, if you want to learn about the semiconductor market, make sure to check out my membership. Click join right under the video.
Finally, I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
So the second growth opportunity, it's whatever is outside of AI. Right. And right now, I think we're only focused in the AI market, but there's other solutions Microsoft also has. So Teams, that is expanding its total addressable market. And they do mention that nearly 60% of enterprise team customers end up buying team phones, rooms, or premium services. They do mention that, hey, while the PC market continues to face headwinds, Microsoft saw record monthly active Windows devices and high usage compared to pre-pandemic. So there's still a nice amount of growth here compared to pre-pandemic numbers. They do mention on LinkedIn they saw a record engagement as more than 930 million members are in the platform. Member growth is accelerating, and they do mention that in India, for example, they have about 100 million members, and that was up 19% year over year. So this is still a market and a social workplace environment that is still growing. So now topic number 3, in my opinion, is Bing. Bing has now more than 100 million daily active users. They are winning new customers on Windows and mobile. They also mentioned that daily installs on Bing mobile app have grown 4x since launch. I think that's pretty amazing. And they are making progress in share gains. Edge took share for the 8th consecutive quarter, and Bing once again grew share in the United States. So those are my 3 reasons to be bullish on Microsoft. Like I mentioned, right, obviously kind of seeing that market cap of $2.2 trillion sometimes worries me. I do want to hear your viewers' thoughts. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.